I didn't go to my A-level lectures without my parents knowing. I literally went to a networking event rather than my A-level exams. And then 365 days later, I built a 6-figure a year business. And this is how I done it. Firstly, let's take a small history lesson. When I was young, I didn't really like school. You know, my dad, he went from Morocco to Italy to the UK. So he and my mom and my dad, they really admired this education system where it's like, you go to school, you go to university, etc. Basically like every single immigrant parent would do, yeah? But at the time, I didn't really feel like that was me at the time because number one, because I wasn't good at it. Number two, I just felt like I deserved so much more. I watched Suits and Harvey Specter was like, life is like this. I like this,
Life is this. I like this.
That's a perfect kind of explanation of how I wanted to live my life back then. I just felt like everybody else was living the same life. I used to go on the underground and I've got a picture on my phone and I took a picture of everybody. Everybody just looked depressed, sad, or like everybody looked rough. Nobody looked like they was enjoying their life. And I was looking at them, I was like, this is not where I belong. This is not what I need to be doing for the rest of my life. Absolutely not. So I kind of took the choice of either choose going to school and taking my A-level exams and keep going, or going all in, literally all in entrepreneurship. And honestly, the best decision I've ever made in my life was going all in entrepreneurship. But it is not for everybody. I've been an entrepreneur and working for myself for the past 2.5 years. Where I started my journey was I was reselling event tickets. And I was reselling event tickets and trainers. But honestly, even though I made good money, I was doing about 1K a month, maybe £900 a month or so. I just felt like I didn't really enjoy it. I was just doing that for money. But for me, I just feel like if I want to do things, I want to do it for passion. And as a reward, you get paid for it. And it wasn't making me happy or fulfilled, etc. Even though, like I said, it made good money. It made good money. But I just feel like I just belonged in something greater. I feel like my skills and my personality and who I am shouldn't just be tied down to a bubble of this reselling stuff. So I was on a mission to kind of build something or create something to help other people. So I started going to networking events, and this was a funny story. I went to a networking event hosted by the Gen Z Club, and I remember it was in Birmingham. It was probably my first time going to Birmingham. Those that don't know, Birmingham is a city in the United Kingdom. And I've never really traveled outside of London. I don't know how the system works. So I booked a single ticket. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna book a ticket at like 11 p.m. or midnight. And I didn't know that trains stopped running at midnight. So what happened was that on that day, by the way, I had an A-level exam. I literally had an A-level exam the day I went to a networking event in Birmingham. The A-level exams that I was supposed to go to, but like I said, guys, education was not my thing. So I was gonna really do bad anyway. So I felt like, what's the point of me kind of going to A-level exams, which I'm not gonna do great in, and just go to this networking event and hopefully sign my next deal or hopefully sign my next client. So then I made the decision to travel to Birmingham. Anyway, what happened by then was I couldn't come back to London. Like this was my first time traveling out of London. So I was like, what do I do? At the time, I should have got a hotel. So then one of my good friends, Faith, he let me sleep in his office. So while everybody else was preparing for the A-level exams and stressing out, I was in Birmingham sleeping in my friend's office. But after I made the decision to choose entrepreneurship over college, it gave me the hunger to be like, you know what, it's either you go all in and you have to make this work or you're basically fucked. Like, sorry for my language, but I'm basically fucked essentially, right? Because I've got no qualifications, I've got no degrees, and I've got no grades really. So it was really do or die. And that was the mentality that I still have now. Like to this day, every single time that I feel kind of scared to do things or I procrastinate or I don't work hard enough, I have for a lot of people that have got a plan B. I have no plan B, I made a decision to not have no plan B by not going to college and by not completing my academic career, by going to university, etc. So it's either I do well entrepreneurship and start a business and build a community and build a social media, etc. Or I'll just not survive and I have to go back to doing a regular job, which I'll be completely honest with you, going to a regular job is my worst nightmare. Purely because, like I said, I have no qualifications. I have no academic qualifications. So I can't be an investment banker or I can't do biomed or I can't do all this high paying stuff. I have to do the average low paying job, which especially after living the lifestyle that I live now, it's impossible. It's literally impossible to go back. And for a lot of people, that's what they're missing. They don't have a plan B. I feel like if you want to be successful, if you really want to be successful, you can't have a plan B. You can't. Imagine telling Michael Jordan, for example, he had to win the championships and the NBA finals or whatever for the Chicago Bulls, He didn't have a plan B to join another team. He made that decision to be like, you know what, I'm either all in or out of it. And he chose to be all in, and now Chicago Bulls are probably one of the most successful dynasties of all time. You want to take the same concept into entrepreneurship, into your own life. You can't have a plan B if you really want to be successful, Because for a lot of time, you're not going to be as risk driven. You're not going to be as you should, you know? That's what a lot of people are missing nowadays. Too many people are just so comfortable in their position. But me, I can't be comfortable. I can't afford to be comfortable because if I become comfortable, I become stagnant. And if you're stagnant, you're actually falling behind. So it's either I build a successful business or I go back to doing a regular job. So during the journey of my business, I was going on, you know, YouTube, how to make money online, and 2023, 2022, whatever. And everybody is saying kind of like read books, read books, read books. So during the journey of my entrepreneurship, I was reading books. I was reading The Chimp Paradox, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, like all these books that was so standard for it, like that every Jack and John kind of like reads. I was like, you know what? This books are amazing. Like, I'm gonna be the next millionaire. I'm gonna be the case study of my generation, which I still think now, but by then I had this dopamine hit of like, you know, I'm gonna read books. Because I'm reading books, I'm really successful. And after 4 months of reading books, I didn't have any money in my account. You know, I didn't get paid. I didn't really build a business. I started realizing that for a lot of people, you're getting sold this image of read books, watch content, watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and you'll be successful. But I'll be completely honest with you, that's not the case. It's the taking action that matters, because for a lot of people, they just consume. They get that first initial dopamine hit. Now they're like, you know what? I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. I'm gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. And then what happens is 6 months down the line, they're still the same person as they was before. So nothing really changes. And that's how most people live, honestly. And I speak to a lot of people every single week. And about 80% of them, or like a lot of them essentially, they go through the same pattern. They read something, they go through something, they maybe buy a course or program, but no matter what they do or how much they spend, their life is still roughly the same as it was before doing whatever they was doing. So it's like, you know what, F this, I'm gonna start taking action. Enough books, I'm gonna dash out all these books, enough freedom, I'm gonna start taking action. So it's like, you know what, let me build a content agency, which is what everybody does nowadays. Build a content agency, I'm gonna hire an editor from this person, I'm gonna outsource to this person, I'm gonna outreach, send 100 emails a day or 100 DMs a day, I'm gonna be the next email guy to you or whatever. Like, that did not happen, you know? So the way it happened is, I started targeting e-com brands. So I built a content agency working for e-com brands because I was on Instagram and I was seeing all these ads. All these ads require some self-editing. I was like, you know what? There's a gap in the market. There must be some pain points there which I can make money from. So I was like, you know what? How can I offer editing services but I don't know how to edit? So I was supposed to work to another editor. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay you 15 USD per video or 20 USD per video. And then I'm gonna sell this guy 50 USD. I'm gonna keep profits. Like, I thought that was the business that would make me the next millionaire. But it ended up closing in about 3 months. So the reason for that is because I scaled it to about 2 to 4K a month, revenue wise, profit wise, probably about 1.5, etc. And what happened was there was just not enough clients. Like e-com brands, what I realized back then was they were so stingy, so they wouldn't pay just for editing services because there's so many competitors out there. There's so many editors out there of charge less money that can do the same amount of work. And I was offering the same service as everybody. So it's so easy for me, for my business to kind of fail in a month. So I made 2 to 4K a month. My highest month was about 3.2. I made 3.2K revenue wise. And then next month I made 0. Because all my clients left to the fact that they found somebody else cheaper because it was offering such a commoditized service. But even though that business failed within 3 months, it taught me an important lesson and it gave me hope for the future. It gave me hope that if I could make this online money now with no experience, imagine what I could do with training and experience and new skills and, you know, experience again. But that content agency business gave me such an important lesson because it gave me insight and gave me hope for the future. I could make money online. You know, it gave me hope that dropping out of education, dropping out of A-levels or college was the right decision. Because that was the first business I've ever done, just from taking action. So imagine what I could do in a year's half time. So for a lot of people, they may know me, you know, for basically all my followers right now on Instagram or TikTok, etc. Probably about 95% of them was from Snapchat. And whenever I tell people that, you know, I built a community on Snapchat and the most amount of revenue that I generated to this day was from Snapchat, they'd be like, what? Snapchat isn't that for little kids? But it was actually a tool for me to kind of build my community because back then there was a network of people out there and then everybody kind of like supports each other, etc. So I built a community of people that followed me from the start. And because I built a community of people that could trust me and they knew what I went through, so I was posting stuff about the content agency. I was posting stuff about the me working at Tottenham Hotspur. I was posting everything, even though I was not successful, I still was posting everything, right? And to this day, that allowed me to kind of monetize that community and make multiple 5 figures. So while all that stuff was happening, working at Tottenham, growing my content agency, building out my portfolio, doing A-levels, I was documenting everything through short form formats. I wish I went long form. I honestly wish I went long, but I was doing short form format and I started kind of building a community. I started growing followers every single month. And what happened when it came to me kind of want to sell something, I want to make money online and start selling info products, because back then, the info space wasn't as popular as it is now. I was like, you know what, I've got this community. How can I make money from this community and still build an amazing product? Back then, I didn't really have any skills, or I didn't have anything to kind of sell because I didn't feel like I have anything worth to sell to. So I was like, you know, how can I leverage other people's skills and make money from that and still generate income? That's when I first started building my first proper business, the business that I really wanted, which was Razzari Academy. Razzari Academy was a platform where I connected other people that have skills such as personal branding, editing, photography, etc. And I built a platform where someone can join in and choose the skill that they want to learn. And I was selling and marketing, and then I would split the profit or the revenue, with the person that I was doing it with. So even though I didn't have the actual hardcore skills myself, I still made money from it because I had the community that I built. I had the systems in place. I knew how to sell. I was like, how can I use this and combine it with someone else's skills and make money for it? It's a win-win situation for the people joining, they get to learn a new skill. For the person doing it with me, he or she can make money and I can make money as well. So after starting Razzari Academy, it was a huge success. That's when I first really made my first 20K a month. I made 20K a month at 19 years old from just being a middleman for people and building a platform with connecting people to clients. And I was marketing and selling, and I had other people doing service delivery. That's when it really like my life completely done in like a whole 360. It was like, yo, this stuff is crazy. Like I just made 20K in a month. Like the fuck, like this is not normal. Like 19, everybody else is kind of doing, I think the UCAS or whatever it was back then. I think it was first year of the university, and I just made 20K at 19. Like, bro, like it was one of the most surreal moments. Seeing 20K in your account or 15K in your account. And I remember I was in Morocco at the time, which was even more weirder because I made this money abroad, and yeah, I was like, it was such a weird concept. It's such a weird concept to me. It was so strange to me. No, that's the right word. And that's when I knew. I was like, you know what? I can do this. Because I was building Razzari Academy and I had editors in my platform, when it came to me targeting different industry or different niche, I want to work with video creators because I felt like, they were so busy with like, the brandos, they're so busy with their life. They didn't really have any time doing the content and the editing and the social side of things. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna outsource the work to, like I said, the editors in my platform, and I can handle the social strategy side of things and the consulting type of things. And then from there, I started working with massive creators from the jump. Because I built such a strong brand, people was referring me to other people. And I started making good money, so I scaled it to about 8K, 9K a month. But then what happened was I made a massive mistake. I was doing everything myself. The whole process, everything myself, the onboarding, the sales, the marketing, the closing, all that stuff, all by myself. So a disaster was bound to happen. There was no way I could manage all this, do my own content, work on other projects, everything myself, while keeping service delivery at its most times. For the majority of it, everything was great. But when things really got busy, we started signing more clients, it just got hectic. Like it just got really stressful. And what happened was service delivery wasn't going great. We wasn't giving the best service delivery. And this is me being completely transparent. We wasn't giving the best service delivery. And I was really pissed off about that. Like I was really angry because I was like, I feel like if other people pay me money for a service, I should be going above and beyond for them. So the fact that my service delivery wasn't as great as I wanted to be, that really annoyed me. But there was nothing I could do because I was so busy with other projects. And what happened, I had to call it off. I had to say, you know what, guys, it's either we focus on this only and we stop everything else, or we stop this at all. And we end up kind of like offboarding of our clients because we felt like we was doing them a disservice. There was no way they were going to keep paying us, and our service delivery wasn't to the level that I wanted it to be. So during that, because I was doing that for the majority of last year and this year, to be honest with you, I took a break. When I take a break, I like to travel, I like to kind of like be with family, etc. And then when I was doing my research and going for my break, I was thinking, I was like, you know what? My whole journey, I was working with freelancers from the beginning, where I kind of was training people how to become freelancers, but teaching them high-value skills. And I was like, freelancers tend to have the same pattern. What's a freelancer? A freelancer is somebody who kind of is hired for a project, on a one-time project. A lot of freelancers, they don't sign a lot of clients, and they can't sign longer-term contracts. A lot of them is a one-off project, And I started seeing a gap in the market. I was like, why is that? Why is it that freelancers, they're so creative, they've got such, amazing skills, but they can't seem to generate 6 figures a year. They can't seem to generate at least, a good income for themselves. And then I was just thinking, I was like, maybe there's a way that I can help. Because from the data that I have and from the insights that I've got from building the businesses, from working with freelancers one-to-one closely, I worked with about 200 plus freelancers. I feel like I have this infrastructure that can be plug and played into every single freelancer in the creative industry. And the infrastructure consists of 3 things. It consists of social media, personal branding, the offer, and it also consists of client retention. right? So in terms of the actual social media presence, a lot of freelancers in the creative industry, they do social media for other people, or they offer social media services to other people, but they can never do it themselves. And that's a massive issue because social media should be your main client acquisition. For a lot of freelancers, a lot of it is through referrals or like word of mouth, right? You want your personal brand, you want your brand to be a magnet for the clients that you really want to hire. The second problem with freelancers is that their offer is usually so bad. Like, I'm just thinking like, how are people paying you? You know, how are people paying you? Because you're offering the same thing to everybody. You can never ever sign a long-term client. And you literally, because you're offering the same thing as everybody, you're commoditized. There'll always be somebody else undercut you. Always. That's not a business that's thriving. That's a business that's surviving. You don't want to survive, you want to thrive. An offer has to be so good that your client has to stay with you for at least 6 months. It has to make you irreplaceable. And the only way to do that is by providing an A to Z solutions. I just want to talk about kind of like a great example of how a freelancer should kind of offer an A to Z solution. I'm with Cade right now. Say hi, Cade. Hey. So you guys can't probably hear him, but Cade is a videographer, right? We've been friends since year 7, right? So Cade right now, he may have feel like, okay, he can't consistently retain clients. He has a lot of one-time projects, but for him right now, he can't kind of retain clients and he can't maintain a consistent long-term contract. And the reason for that is, what I believe, is because he's not offering an A to Z solution. So with him, it's like just videography, right? But what if a videographer, right? What if a videographer could become a production company? You know, because I feel like a videographer can become a studio, like a creative studio. Why don't you offer an A to Z solution to a brand within a specific niche, all right? Niche that requires consistent videography. You only demand to supply. You want to run more clients than you would service providers. So if I was a videographer, this is how I kind of generate income quickly as possible, as an example. And I'll start offering an A to Z solution to be like, look, we can help you set up a studio, right? Because for a lot of clients, they have to worry about setting up a studio. And a lot of them, they pay someone else to do it anyways. So what they do is a videographer offer that to them. So you go, listen, I'll help you create a set up the lighting, cameras, everything. You can also help them with the concept of the creative strategy. You can help them actually with recording content, because then that becomes irreplaceable, because it's so harder for you to kind of replace somebody that can offer an A to Z solution. I'll be like, you know what, let me help you set up your next set. I can help you create a concept of your next content. Because you understand the niche and industry, you can do it much better than everybody else. A lot of videographers, they generalize. They just do one thing for absolutely every single person in the world. You want to be really specific on who you want to target. And from then, by offering those massive solutions, you cannot charge a premium, you know, because it'll be much harder for you someone to replace you. That's just one thing that will do. So offer personal branding and client retention. For a lot of people, they need to sign higher long-term contracts. Videographers, for example, especially, people need videography consistently. If they're hiring you once, they're going to hire you again. So why don't videographers just be like, hey, look, how many shoots are you doing per month? Or once a month, can we do a 3-month contract? I can actually go to 3 months and offer a discount if they pay up front for the next 3 months, right? I know you got guarantee payment for the next 3 months, right? You've now got a long-term contract. And most likely, videographers are the most Ivy League referred service providers. Like, people refer videographers all the time. A lot of videographers, they get a lot of the money from networks and referral. So if you could provide a good service delivery to a client, you've instantly can generate 3 more clients behind them because they know somebody else that needs the video done. Doesn't make sense. That is one thing on how like service providers or freelancers need to be able to think smart or think like a business rather than a creative, right? If a freelancer wants to build a successful business, you want to think like a business owner. If you think like creative, you're not going to get paid much. You want to know how to build systems, you want to know how to build a brand, you want to know how to build kind of like acquisition systems that like generate clients on autopilot. Freelancers in the creative industry, they are sitting on a massive gold mine. They don't even know it. I love them, number one, they're so focused on other stuff rather than focusing on the actual skill, which is a huge mistake. And secondly, they've got good network, they've got clients already, they've got testimonials, reviews, and a lot of them actually refer them to other people, right? That's a recipe for a successful business. But why can't none of them or a lot of them generate a successful business? Why is that? I believe the reason why it is because a lot of them are creatives. They're not business owners. They just start thinking like a business owner rather than say, hey, you know what, I'm just do this for one person, do this for one person. You want to be able to offer services for a niche that you really understand. That's the best way that you're going to make money. Really provide services to an industry where you know exactly the pain points, you know exactly how to help them, and you can bridge the gap between the current state and the desired state. And that's why I created this series. This series is kind of breaking down every single concept that I believe a freelancer in the creative industry should have and must have to build a successful business. Without it, they're going to die out. I believe freelancing is not a real job. Because like I said, what is a freelancer? A freelancer is somebody who gets paid once on a part-time contract or for one-time projects. But a lot of freelancers can't predict how much money they're going to make next month. That is not a business. A business, you should want to predict at least how much you're going to make next month. Not make 5K this month and make 1K next month. That's not a business. Like I said, you're not thriving. You're just about surviving. You don't want to survive. You want to thrive. You want to go transition from become just a typical freelancer who gets paid one-time projects, who doesn't get consistent clients to become a business owner and actually build a successful business with people under you, with the right team under you, with the right offer, with the right industry, then that's how you know you've got a successful business, once you have all those systems in place. But till you do that, you're about 6 months away or a year away from just dying out and going back to whatever you was doing before. So yeah, rather than me just talking to Katie behind the camera, I just want to talk to you guys for a second, all right? I hope you enjoyed this series. You know, I'm gonna make it as organic as possible. I'm gonna make it as value stack as possible. And this series is perfect for those freelancers that are in the creative industry, which are stuck working with low price clients, that are stuck not getting long-term contracts, that are stuck just, doing one-time projects and they can never predict how much money they're gonna make next month. So this is for you. And there's so much more bonuses and worksheets and that we're gonna give you. By the way, for absolutely free, all right? There's no cost to this. It's absolutely free. So yeah, this is about to be amazing. It's about to be, really fun to do. And I can't really wait to kind of provide amazing value for you guys to at least change one of you guys' lives, at least turn one of you guys from a freelancer to an actual business owner, So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm learning a lot from creating the series. I'm going to give a lot of insights. Yeah, this is all unscripted, but I love it. I love it like this. So yeah, peace out, enjoy, and bye-bye.